Yeah, let's take a look. So we have a hurricane that is moving closer. The western eye wall, the edge of the eye wall is moving, widen out here, and you can clearly see it. Look at how massive this is. I want to put the ruler on this for a second if I can get it. Might take a minute or two to search for that little icon, but it's really incredible here how wide this is. So let's go across. We're talking over 50 miles wide, and an impressive storm that still packs a punch, and we're still getting reports of very significant winds on the Treasure Coast tonight. Now, there's a wider view. So this is a storm that lost a lot of its energy when this very dry air wrapped around the center. That happened in the last 6 hours, and it got entrained near the center, which is somewhere in this area here just off the coast. But that western eye wall continues to move in. We still have a serious storm surge situation. We're seeing reports of damage and the storm surge inundation along the coastline and through the Indian River and the intracoastal. Still have the hurricane warnings in effect up and down the coastline. We had the high tide times earlier tonight between about 8 and 9:30, and we have another high tide time coming up around roughly mid-morning, 9:30, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. There's the latest, 1 a.m., 75 miles an hour, moving west-northwest at 14. So the forward speed's picked up a little bit. The pressure has not changed, 980. When the pressure changes, when it drops, usually 4-6 hours later, you'll see an increase in the wind speed, but the pressure has stayed consistent and is expected to as it makes landfall just off the coastline at this point. The center of the storm, that's the technical definition of landfall, when the center makes its way and crosses over land. That's what happened with Francis and Jean. They crossed South Hutchinson Island, and that was the official landfall point for those hurricanes. The landfall point for this should be a little bit farther north on the current track. 40-mile-an-hour winds. The wind speeds have come down in a few spots. These are wind gusts. We've seen 60 in Vero Beach in the last hour, and we'll continue to see some strong winds. There's a look at our radar. Massive eye here pushing in. There's the western edge of the eye wall brushing up against Fort Pierce, all the way down essentially in the Indian River where we were just talking to Megan, and down in toward Jupiter, Hope Sound, and a pretty good line of rain that's fired up and just in the last few minutes that's pushing in across 95 and the Turnpike through eastern Martin County. Getting reports, let's see, peak wind 59 miles an hour. That is Indian River Shore, so that's Indian River County. That just happened about 5 minutes ago, almost a 60-mile-an-hour wind gust, so that would be up around the Vero Beach area. So this will continue to move closer to the coastline. There's another look at it and a better time lapse in the last few hours. It's 1:05. Making landfall in the next couple of hours, I suspect, moving 14 miles an hour. It might take another couple of hours before that happens, and then working inland. And the winds are already starting to shift offshore now, and big bands of rain lining the Broward Palm Beach County line. Just tremendous rainfall that's not going to end anytime soon, because the outer edge is going to hang around for a little while longer. All right, so that's the latest on the storm, and we're going to keep you up to date, of course, on the strong winds that continue to develop, especially on the Treasure Coast. There should be a little bit less in Palm Beach County through the overnight hours.